So this will be part two of me analyzing The View and their take on the MAGA hat wearing white kids and what went on with the Native American. And so we're going to listen to this. You already saw what I had to say about Joy Behar. It's in my previous video. I'll link. But we're going to listen to this lady and see what she has to say about this incident. So let's go ahead and see what she has.
I watched hours of the controversy, and as a practicing Catholic, I just kept on coming back to the same point. Where were the chaperones? Where were the adults? I thought it was such a...
There were adults. The adults were the Black Hebrew nationalists and the Native Americans, such as Phillips and his cohorts. They were adults. They're the ones that escalated and provoked the situation. Why is it that they keep focusing on the kids? Well, the kids should have had chaperones there. I think the kids behaved more aberrantly than the other two groups. Maybe the Black Hebrew Israelites and the Native American activists needed chaperones. But this is just another way to shirk all responsibility. Now they know. They already played clips of what these Black Hebrew nationalists were saying. They know that. And still they deflect from that and talk about, well, chaperones needed to be there for the kids. Well, there were chaperones there. And unfortunately, the actual adults in the situation behaved in a childish, racist, homophobic manner. And that's what escalated the situation. The kids behaved better than anyone.
A teachable moment for everyone there. These were kids. These were 16-year-old kids. And I kept on thinking, you've got kids coming from another place, from Kentucky. They don't know D.C. You've got the black...
What does that mean? They don't know D.C. They're waiting for a bus. Is she trying to say they should have just understood that they'd be yelled at?
Black Israelites, really taunting them. They should have been taught, what would Jesus do? That's what Catholics are taught. And
See, that's the coverage that the Black Hebrew Israelites get. They were taunting them. The Catholics should have said, what would Jesus do? All of her focus on the kids, not, my God, here were adults behaving in this way. Why did they act like that? No, instead it's, well, these kids should have done what Jesus would do. They're worth focusing on. Unbelievable.
And they were engaging the people that were being aggressive to them. A chaperone should have said to them, don't engage, you move along. And instead, their chaperones were told them to start this chant. And the kids started this chant. One kid ripped off his shirt and, was chanting.
And
then
they
you've
there
got,
for a pro-life
They were there for a
Then
pro-life
why did they need
movement.
those hats on their
Well,
head?
and that's the other thing,
Why did they need the hats? Because they're allowed. Because they were at a pro-life march. What do you think the women on The View would be like? Why are those kids wearing Obama shirts? What's up with that? What's up with those kids in Obama shirts? Of course not. I'm so tired of this. Well, they had it coming because, they had racist hats on. The hat's not racist, one. The second, that so many people say that proves that they think just because you voted for Donald Trump or cheer for him that you're a racist. This is the deplorable thing all over. See, when the veneer starts to crack, you can see what they really think. You're a scumbag, you're a racist, you deserve it if you have a hat like that. Support Trump, you must be a racist. That's what these people think. And then you wonder who's causing the division.
Catholic churches, you get this exemption, this tax exemption, because you're not supposed to be political.
Oh, well, that's weird. They had the exact opposite take when the Parkland students who went to a public school paid for by public tax dollars were having all sorts of anti-gun rallies. They felt the exact opposite here. But because these people go to a private school that gets some tax exemption, they shouldn't be allowed to go to a pro-life rally? I wonder, are they allowed these Catholic schools to teach the sanctity of life? Or is that something they would suggest being revoked? This attacks on Catholics and Christianity that goes along with the attacks on white people or people with MAGA hats is absolutely disgusting. And you can see it by the double standards they have.
And they had these political, these hats on and these outfits. Again, where were the adults advising them that they can't wear that? And then again, you've got this good...
They can't wear that. Again, that's what we're saying now. You have to censor yourself if you have support for the President of the United States. That must be censored. That support is offensive, it's racist, and you're going to get attacked. You have to know you're going to get attacked. I would love to hear their opinions on women in short skirts, right? Where were the adults telling girls not to wear short skirts? They know that they're going to get attacked and harassed. Oh no, they would say the exact opposite on The View. Bunch of hypocrites.
Good Samaritan that's trying to separate them.
A good Samaritan's what she calls Mr. Phillips. We'll get into him in a minute.
And again, you have a 16-year-old. He was smirking. He says he was silently praying. I don't know. When I pray, I don't smirk. But the adult. But again,
he was nervous. An adult, the Good Samaritan, came up and beat a drum in his face.
I do.
The adults weren't there, you know, telling him, move out of the way. Don't engage this Good Samaritan. And again, afterwards, he gets a PR firm that sends this note. And so instead of teaching him...
So we keep going back to this PR firm. So because he went to a PR firm and told his story through a PR firm, that means that somehow it's to be discredited. His story lines up more with what we see in the actual video than someone like Phillips, who lied over and over. Which I'm going to do a video on this, stay tuned for that, but just a quick rundown. He lied when he said that the kids initially surrounded him, when actually the fact was he approached the kids. He lied when he said the smiling kid, he started to become fearful of the kids and the smiling kid blocked his exit. That was a lie. He's the one who got in the smiling kid's face. He lied when he said that the black activists were just trying to preach from the Bible and the kids were beasts that were after their prey, that were attacking the black people. He was a racist scumbag when he said that those black racists that were yelling homophobic slurs were actually had some good points and he felt that he had to defend them. That's the Good Samaritan she's talking about, that gets in children's faces banging a drum. Reverse the races and see if a white guy gets in some minority kid wearing an Obama shirt's face and starts chanting in his face, if that would be considered a Good Samaritan that was just trying to have peace. Absolutely ridiculous.
As an adult, you know, maybe take some responsibility. There's still no teachable moment. So where are the adults in this? Teaching, teaching. No one is there.
The teachable moment's this. You're a racist scumbag who thinks that this, just because of people's races, such as the black Hebrew Israelites that were shouting all kinds of racial slurs, you'll ignore that. Or you call Phillips a Good Samaritan when he lied and smeared these kids and engaged in bad behavior himself. But you insist that these kids need to be taught something. How about people like you that are on the media encouraging this hatred and division based on skin color are the people that need to be taught something? That's the teachable moment. You went out and you smeared children and now they're being doxxed and they had to shut down their school today because of people like you, because of the division that you push, because you're still smearing and acting like it's these kids' fault, even today when the full video's out there. Don't have anything to say. You could use your platform to be like, my God, look what these racist black activists did. Or, my God, can you believe that this Native American Good Samaritan defended those black activists and said they had some good points? But instead, you're still smearing the kids. You're just trying to do it in a clever way where you say, well, you know, maybe it was a smirk, but not real. And the chaperones... Yeah, there were adults there and they behaved poorly and you refused to call them out. That's the teachable moment. The teachable moment's also for all of us to understand that it's further proof that these people are terrible people. Just like I said in my last video with Joy Bear, they hate Trump so much that they're willing to do this. They are cultural Marxists. These kids must be bad because they check so many oppressor boxes. They're white, they're Republicans, they are pro-life, they're Catholic, they were male. So they have to be wrong. That's why the black Israelites that are shouting racial homophobic things aren't even worth talking about. That's why Phillips, who got in a kid's face, lied about him and did all the things I said above, is considered a Good Samaritan. This is what you get with cultural Marxism. Notice the crowd, yeah, they applaud. So, yeah, I mean, I know the view's easy pickings, but this is exactly what so many people think on the left, and it's absolutely disgusting. Even after the narrative is destroyed, they still have to hold on to it. White, MAGA hat-wearing kids are evil, they're racist. Minorities are always noble, even if they're shouting racist things. It's absolutely terrible. So, hey, if you liked the video, like and subscribe, and I'll be having more coming out soon, so have a good one.